What's up, guys? This is Sean.
This is Zach.
And we're from the Yelling from the Stands podcast. And today, we're here to talk to you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone and computer.
One cool thing Anchor can do for you is it will distribute your podcast across all platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts.
So in a nutshell, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting from Southern California, this is Yelling from the Stands.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Yelling from the Stands. This is Sean, and live via Facebook Messenger. Welcome, Friendly.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good, man. I just cracked a beer. It's 10 in the morning. I feel like a fucking failure. Ooh, this is good, man. I don't know if you guys get a lot of Golden Road out there, but I picked this up this morning. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to get my camera. It's all turned around. This is a fucking hazy IPA. This is good. But you're probably wondering where Zach is. Zach had a family emergency this morning and couldn't make it. So I reached out to Friendly, the guy who sent us summer sausage weeks back, which was delicious, by the way. And he decided to fill in. So welcome aboard, Matt.
Thanks.
All right. What you been up to out there? What's it like out there in sunny Oklahoma right now?
Last few weeks have actually been pretty nice. Like, not Oklahoma weather. Like, usually 80s, low 90s. Mm-hmm. And today, actually yesterday, it started heating up again. Like, the heat index is up past 100.
Oh, shit. I'm sure the humidity is fucking miserable.
Yeah, it can be. As long as there's a breeze out, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But other than that.
Oh, nice, man. We know out here, because, like, we're big on the masks and stuff. I see a lot of my Facebook friends are from Oklahoma, and a lot of them think it's, like, fake and shit. Like, what's it like out there? Is that the general tone from everybody in the Midwest? Is like, this is not real. We're overdoing it. Like, what is it?
I'd say like 50-50. Like, all my friends that I hang with are big on it. And like, my family, like, I'm sure your mom's the same way. Like, conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's all for Trump. The whole world's shutting down the economies just to get Trump out of office.
It's 100% right, dude. That's exactly what they believe. I got into, who was it the other day? Like, even like my wife's family, not the, like, Zach's dad and them, but the other side from Tennessee, very much like, oh, we're sheep. Like, we got into it the other day on Facebook with some of them. Bro, I'm exhausted from it, man. Like, I had to unfollow a shitload of people on Facebook just because I don't put political shit out there. I'm not trying to stir the pot. Facebook is not the place for me to, like, hey, make a stand politically and change somebody's mind. Like, who fucking was like, hey, I got on Facebook today and I'm a Republican now. Like, I get it. Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, give it up. Like, I put pics of my kids on Facebook so my family can see. And like, I can't stand when they're just constantly posting political shit, especially when it's so ignorant. Like, I mean, a lot of my family, I mean, you know, I won't even get into about your dad's side and shit, but let's just say they're not doctors. They're not, they don't have bachelor's degrees. And all of a sudden they know better than the doctors. So it's I would say out here, it's probably more fucking like 70-30, maybe 60-40. But they're still, like, the people that, like, don't believe it, holy shit. Like, God, their attitude is just like, they act like they're the ones that, like, discovered this and they know better. Like, oh man, it's such entitlement. It's crazy. Have you guys been, how's the stores and stuff out there? You guys are all open, right?
Yeah. Everything, I think pretty much everything's open again. Has been for a while.
Even bars?
And yeah, bars have been open for a while. Like, nobody's going that much. They're like quarter capacity what they usually would be.
Shit. Dude, they've got all the bars shut down. We were in downtown LA 2 days ago. Golden Road, actually, the beer I'm drinking right now, they had a big, they have a setup in this place called Grand Central Market, downtown LA. and a ton of good food. They have a fucking peanut butter and jelly place, dude. It's pretty badass. But no, the Golden Road, I went up to buy a beer, and the guy's like, oh, you got to use the apps for social distancing. I'm like, okay. So I fucking download this app, spend 10 minutes because it's fucked up and not working. It's hot outside. I just want to drink. And finally get it working. He's like, don't worry about it. It's probably down anyway. So I'll let you order right here. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I was like, okay, I'll take a beer. He's like, cool. Which one you want? I chose my beer. All right, what can I get you to eat? And I'm like, I'm not hungry whatsoever. I just want a beer. Oh, I can't serve you a beer, bro, without food. So because all that shit shut down in here, they can only serve it with food. And I was like, I'm not buying a $6 plate of fries just to have a beer.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I mean, that's...
like they're even some places, some states, I think California's probably one of them, like they're not letting just like buffalo wings be considered food, like it has to be actual meal or something.
Yeah, I saw it in New York. Cuomo or whatever was bitching about bars that were serving chips and shit like that as a cheap side that they were buying. Yeah, the cheapest shit, we had like $6 for a plate of fries to get a beer, and I was like, fuck that, man. I'm not messing with that. I just wanted a drink. But did you hear about this? I'm sure you heard about the explosion in Beirut the other day. Did you see that shit?
Yeah, I watched it first thing in the morning. I watched it several times.
Dude, that was fucking crazy, man. Like, I have not seen that kind of explosion almost ever. Like, when you watch that fucking... There was a video on, I think it was TikTok I was watching or something like that. It was fucking crazy. It was so up close. You saw the tops of buildings blowing off. Dude, that's the kind of shit that scares me right there.
Yeah, I was reading all about it the next day. Like, they figured out what it was.
Yeah.
It's 27 or 50 tons of ammonium nitrate fertilizer.
What the fuck was it
and
doing
2
there?
tons is what was used in a Russian guy imported it there, then left Lebanon, Port Authority seized it, and really just mismanaged it for 6 years. It's been sitting there.
6 years?
And yeah. So they think a welder set it off. And did you see the crater afterwards?
Yeah. That was fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, so I think they already made some arrests for the Port Authorities that fucked up. Just let it sit there.
6 years, man. Like, who the fuck is going to let anything sit for 6 years in that kind of concentrated downtown and nobody fucking question it?
Mm-hmm.
Was it in a building or what was it?
Yeah, it was right on the port in one of the buildings.
Red flag? I mean, come on, man. Jesus. That city's been blown up how many times? I guess they're just fucking numb to it. I guess Eric can't make it. He said he's waiting in the vet to see if his cat will survive. Sorry, Eric. We hope you the best. Wish you the best.
Why are you laughing about it?
Because it's 10 in the morning and I'm drinking. It's such a weird day, dude. Like, usually we do the podcast at noon. We were going to do it early today because we were going to go smoke a tri-tip at their house. And we had all this shit planned, bunch of booze ready. So get up this morning and he can't make it. So I'm trying to get this shit together, find somebody. I'm like, I'm going to start drinking. It's 10 in the morning. We don't know what we're doing today. So I'm just a little off my rocker. But let's hop to the next thing. What?
You can't beat a good day drink, though.
That's true, man. I haven't had that in a while. And I have some White Claws in there and I really enjoy those because they're light on the stomach, but all right, we're going to jump to the next thing. Sturgis. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I didn't read into it, but I know what's happening, and they said they expect 250,000 people to be there.
More than that. Estimated 400,000 people are being held in Sturgis, South Dakota right now. Massive motorcycle rally. It began on Friday, August 7th and runs through the 16th. In June, city officials decided in 8-1 vote to go ahead with the rally. In June. Dude, June, everybody was like, we're fucking all gonna die. And they're like, yeah, we need to keep Sturgis going. We got to be normal. We don't want these guys being depressed. I don't know what the fucking... What's the thought process behind that?
I would say that's probably 95% of the revenue for the year.
I get that, but they're going to fucking kill all these bikers. Look at the pictures. Every one of them's over 50. Every one of them's overweight. Every one of them is smoking. Like, come on. Like, how they're going to fucking kill. There's 400,000 people there. They're going to lose 275,000 of them. And then they're going to go off back home and spread off the COVID. Like, this is not a good idea. It said the city felt it had been prepared with the adequate emergency ambulance, fire, and police services to assist with these people. What the fuck is that going to do for COVID, man? The large camping facilities located outside the city control also made it known that they would remain open and had thousands of camping reservations in place. It said they have been taking extra precautions. Not according to the video I saw yesterday of about 350 people in a bar, nobody wearing masks, bumping shoulders, singing, what song was it? The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song in a bar. That was happening yesterday. Yeah. So you can catch that video online. This is bad news, man. This is, and nobody will say it. I said it on the last podcast a few podcasts ago. Nobody will say it, but the protests did the same shit that this is doing. The protests were for a good reason, but they still fucked us up COVID-wise. Like, let's just be real. They did. Very few people were wearing masks, the looting and rioting, all that shit. It wasn't good. You can't sit there and say, oh, that's not spreading COVID, but this is. No, it did spread COVID, and this is doing the same shit. I guess the one bright side is this is going to wipe out a lot of conservatives.
That's what I was going to say. Not that it's going to be good for like cutting Social Security and Medicare costs. That's going to, long run, it's going to be a lot of good.
Oh shit! I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, Trump's polling is going to fall drastically here in 3 weeks when these guys pass on.
Going to be a lot more job openings.
Yeah, a lot of welders, a lot of, I don't know what other fucking jobs they do. Oh shit. That's, I mean, I have a lady that worked with me, man, and she's a biker. She goes to Sturgis. Even she was like, I'm not fucking with that. Are you serious? Like, come on. I have to wear a mask all day at work, and you want me to drive my motorcycle with a bunch of other motherfuckers? Like, if it was a cars, like some kind of car rally, and everybody was in their cars, it'd be one thing. Like a drive-in comedy show they've been doing. But you're on a fucking motorcycle, and they're packed like cattle in the streets. Jesus, man.
I was just looking at Sturgis on the map. It's a really small town. It's only a town of 7,000 people.
That's it?
So I'm not sure what's comfortable. Yeah. So they're not equipped for anything like that. Very few places are.
I'm going to see if I can find some more pictures real quick, because the last picture I saw, dude, it was stupid. They were all downtown in the, oh my God. Just type in Sturgis in Google right now. And then let me sort it by news, actually. Jesus, thousands converge, biker rally, a potential super spreader. A potential, like, yeah, it's going to be a super, like, what the fuck is potential about it? Harley, this one's good. Harley's everywhere, masks nowhere. Sturgis draws down. That's a great lead right there. Great lead.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a webcam, live view. Let me see if I can hook this up. I'm not taking a survey. Pay your own bills. Nah, but that's the kind of shit. Dude, there's going to, like, legit, there's going to be a lot of deaths from that. These people, like, if they're all wearing masks, at least doing some kind of precautionary, measures, but it's very obvious that is not happening.
No, like, I don't like big crowds. I went to the OU Texas game this last year, and they set up it different this year apparently, and it was just from the game. There's 100,000 people a game, not counting all the people just going to the fair. It was ridiculous, like shoulder to shoulder the whole way through, all the way to game, all through the fair. It was terrible.
What the fuck?
Like, I'm planning on going to the bar that night afterwards.
Yeah,
I was just exhausted from that. We'd like lay down for a nap at 7. Woke up at like midnight. It's like, I guess we're not going out.
Dude, when you think back, like once I started seeing like how doctors were telling us about how we spread our germs without wearing masks and shit, I was like, start thinking back. I was like, how the fuck are we all alive? Like, if this has always been like an issue, like we are so nonchalant. It makes total sense how like the Japan, you see people wearing masks before the pandemic. They've done it for years. like we are, like as Americans, we're just fucking oblivious, I guess. I mean, there's not always been the concern, but like when we really slowed down and start seeing, hey, this is why we're wearing a mask. This is what it, protects. And it's mind blowing to think that we've never really taken any precautions. I mean, shit, dude. You go into a public men's restroom anywhere. If you stood in there for 20 minutes, you would watch 50 to 60% men not wash their fucking hands after pissing. That is not a lie. Am I lying?
No.
Dude, I see it at work. I'll have people come in. And I'm like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I can't stand close to you. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to take a piss and I'm good. That's it. We'll be good. We'll figure it out. Like, oh my God. Like, I don't understand, man. All right, let's jump to the next fucking what the fuck news. In news that nobody will be surprised by, 260 students and 8 teachers quarantined in Georgia after their first week of school.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It says at least 260 students, 8 teachers from a suburban school district in Atlanta, Georgia were quarantined after multiple students and teachers tested positive for COVID during the first week of school. The Cherokee County School District reported positive cases in at least 11 students, 2 staff members, which if you saw the pictures of the Georgia school, they were all packed in that hallway. It's going to get way fucking worse than that. They're going to spread like crazy. Quarantined students will receive online instruction while they stay at home. They don't even get the fucking week off. If you get COVID, you get classes online. Dude, they don't take this shit seriously. Like, what if these kids are dying? People are on fucking ventilators trying to figure out where Uruguay is for their geography class.
Yeah, that kid that took that picture, they actually tried to suspend them and their mom blew up on them.
Yeah, they made it go viral and they had to reverse the decision. I saw that. Dude, it says, we know we're under a microscope as national media follows the opening of schools across the country. But know that our decisions are not based on what people in New York or Kansas think. Nor are we concerned about optics or image. Bullshit, by the way. You handled the suspension, by the way. We're focused on what's doing best for our community. Man, there's a lot of arguments I can see both sides of, but I don't understand the argument of saying we don't want kids to be depressed. We need to get them into school. They have a chance of dying. Like, that's, like, I don't understand the fucking logic behind that. They have a chance of dying, and we're going to send them to school because we don't want them to get depressed. In an age where every one of their fucking friends has a cell phone that they could talk to, see, video chat with more so than ever. But yet we don't want them to be without public or any kind of, social repercussions. It's fucking stupid. Oh my God.
Students are most likely to recover, but the teachers are most likely to die from it too.
Exactly. I mean, but like, how many of these kids, they're not in a bubble. They're going home at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, this is, we're putting them in this fucking center where they're all sharing this shit. I mean, in high school, dude, like somebody had a thing on Facebook the other day. It's like, we send kids to school. I'm going to send my son with a Spider-Man mask. And he's going to come home with the Batman mask because he traded a fucking kid at lunch for a cooler mask. And then he's going to bring it home to my papa and nana and we're all going to fucking die. Like, I just don't see the upside of, let's just try it out. Let's send them. I mean, shit, man. If a school gets MRSA, they shut that shit down. They bleach everything. Pandemic hits and we're like, well, let's see how it goes, guys. Come on. Let's not take away their social game here. It's high school. I mean, come on.
Should be fucking and sucking.
That's the other part, dude. It's so absurd to me that it's so important all of a sudden that we gotta be in school. Like, do this shit online. They live on the computer. They live on the phones. What's the difference? Have schools started?
I didn't like online classes. I'd hate it, but I would take them still instead of going to class.
It makes sense, man. Like, I mean, I would hate it too. I've failed every online class I've ever taken. And there's been ever. I have no self-will when it comes to that. I'm like, I can pass an online class, go once a week. And then it turns into how little can I pay attention and get by? It's pathetic, dude. I failed. This was not an online class, but it was a class at OSU I took. It was leadership. Oh, it was such a joke. We met once a week, and there's like 7 of us, and we just talked about leadership tactics. And I think we went on a field trip once. I missed the field trip. I went to class maybe like twice. It was so bad. I'm such a piece of shit.
Yeah, as a dumb class, I had it too.
Did you? Yeah. All right. Let's get into some sports news. All right, starting with the NBA. So they did mention that for the next season, because the next season technically starts in what, December? Yeah, December 1st. So because we're bumping up against it, I guess they're talking right now about they may delay next season's the start of it to give them a better chance for us to get this under control so that the fans can be back. I mean, do you see that as a possibility, realistically?
Starting in December or January, I would say fans still shouldn't be there, probably.
Yeah, but they're saying they're going to try to move it back into next year in hopes that we can have it. But, like, are we even that close, like, to have fans back?
It doesn't seem like it.
I'm kind of with that, man.
Like, they should push it back. They're still not even in the playoffs right now. I don't remember how many games they're going to play before they go into the playoffs. But they need to push it back just so the athletes have time off season to recover.
I mean, the guys they're going to be wore out. They've been in the bubble now. The playoffs are supposed to start here, I believe, next week, the 14th. I think the first game is on the 14th, if I remember right. So we're almost to the playoffs of the NBA. But these guys have been locked up in a bubble for about 3-4 weeks now. And then we're talking, once we do finish it up, we're talking send them home for 3 months and then start the season again. I don't think there's any way December, there's no fans going to the games. If it is, it's going to be one every 5 seats. We're talking astronomical pricing. Like somebody's going to pay out the ass to go to these games. I think there's more hurdles to do it that way than to just say, let's push it back. I mean, if they push it back till next year, like March, I mean, you might have a shot of being able to get a very sparse crowd in there. But I think they're kind of biting off more than they can chew. I don't think we're looking at sports with fans for a while.
Yeah. I was watching, actually I was just flipping through the channels and watched the WNBA for a little bit.
Whoa.
And some reason they don't do it the same as the NBA. There's no fake fans and there's no crowd noise at all. Just like the WNBA regular season.
It's just quiet as shit. It's like practice.
Yeah, it's like a practice. That's what it's looked like.
Could you just hear the women grunting and moaning and?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. Oh shit. Let's take a look at the NBA play. Have you watched any of the NBA playoffs since the bubble started?
I just looked at the standings. I haven't looked at how they got it laid out.
So as of right now, and me and Friendly are both Thunder fans. We are looking at Lakers #1 overall seed. No surprise there. 2, we got the Clippers. No surprise there either. 3, we got the Nuggets. We kind of knew they'd be in that range. 4, Houston Rockets, which I think as a Thunder fan, a year ago, we were all fucking terrified when Paul George left and Russell got traded. But I think every Thunder fan, and you can tell me your opinion, but I think we're sitting pretty at a 5th seed right behind Houston, who we gave away a star player to, and we were supposed to be down and out. And I feel pretty good sitting at a 5 seed right behind them after giving them so much talent.
Yeah.
But OKC sitting at 42-26. We got the Jazz right behind them at 43-27. And then 7 seeds the Mavericks, and the 8th seed's kind of up in the air still. The Memphis Grizzlies still have a chance of losing it, but they've got the 8th seed now. The East is a pile of shit. We know that. Bucks overall. You got the Toronto Raptors, and then 3 is our Celtics. That's pretty much your big ones. Philadelphia just lost Ben Simmons pretty much for the season. I mean, a lot of inconsistency in the East. I mean, nobody really talks about it. I think it'll be the Bucks or the Raptors. We kind of assume that. But what do you think the Western Conference is looking like once we actually get into the playoffs later this week?
I'm not sure. He's like anybody in the West could win it because I've been just watching the Thunder games and the Rockets games. The Thunder blew out the Lakers. They blew out the Nuggets, but then they lost to the Grizzlies, gave them their first win back. So they've been kind of inconsistent with how they played, but they beat two of the best teams in the league right now. Rockets, they've been playing pretty good. I'm not sold on the Lakers being as good as they are.
Really?
Like, yeah, like it's all James and AD.
Yeah.
So if one of them goes down, like what it was, LeBron James, like 2008, everything was on his shoulders. Like they won that series, I think, were all just on his effort. So it's kind of like that.
I think they'll have enough to kind of make it like challenging, even if they do lose some of their big guys. Anthony Davis is the key for me. I don't think LeBron can do it again. I don't think he's able to do what he did that season with the Cavs. But
he's slowing down.
Yeah. I think Anthony Davis is the pivotal point with the Lakers. As long as he can stay healthy, I think they've got a shot. What about the Clippers? How you feeling? I haven't watched much of them lately. I haven't seen their games, but like, doesn't seem they're as dominant as we thought they were.
No, I haven't seen a lot. I think George and Leonard have been hurt off and on too. Like it's just been one of them at a time. A lot of the games.
I mean, that's
so.
Not
I don't
surprising.
think they have the chemistry that they should by now at this point in the season.
But that's what's crazy with the Western Conference when it comes to fucking basketball. Any of these teams could run the table. It's crazy. Like, yeah, there's a talent gap between the fucking Grizzlies and the Lakers, but I could totally see, I mean, it wouldn't, if somebody said the Grizzlies are going to win every fucking series and take it all, I'd be like, okay, I mean, there's a shot. Western Conference is that good. Eastern Conference is not that way.
Yeah, it hasn't been for quite a while.
Yeah. God, even, I remember when I used to play NBA Live on the Sega Genesis, even the Eastern Conference was shitty.
Yeah.
Wizards fucking shit the bed this year. They've lost every game since the bubble started. I think the Grizzlies won one game. I'm looking at theirs right now. Let's see. Yeah, the Grizzlies won one. God, they lost them all until they finally beat the Thunder the other day. Phoenix, man. Oh, speaking of Phoenix, did you hear about Draymond? This just came out. Zach just sent me this, actually.
Yeah.
Draymond Green gets fined $50,000 for comments about Devin Booker due to tampering. So I guess he had made a comment saying, hey, he should get out of that club or organization, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And they just
fined him. Trying to recruit him.
Dude, Draymond's a piece. He's a good ball player, but he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he is, really.
I can't stand watching him. Like, I love watching him play. He plays real aggressive, which is cool, but like, I don't like people running their mouth like that off the court. Like, he pushes the limit too much. He deserves. They just find his ass more than that.
Too bad he didn't play in the 90s. He would have got beat up.
Oh, fuck, dude. Did you watch the Michael Jordan documentary?
Yeah, I watched it all.
Oh, it's so good, man. You fucking forget how dominant some of these guys were, dude. Fucking Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing. Dude, these were the big dudes when we were little watching basketball. Those were the big studs. And we watched I think it was on Two Bears, One Cave the other day. They had the weightlifting competition between Shaq and Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Bro, I was shocked to find out that fucking Charles was out throwing him, man. Charles did it. He put that shit up. Shaq was struggling. Oh, but I think we're in for a pretty good playoff, though. The NBA playoffs for me have always been awesome. Even when I first got back into them around 2006, if I remember, when the Golden State had Baron Davis and Steven Jackson. I'm a Golden State fan along with the Thunder. They've always been one of my teams, but when they blew up, I kind of fucking threw them to the side. I don't want to be labeled as a bandwagon because that's what would have happened.
Yeah.
But I miss the days of Baron Davis, Steven Jackson, Monta Ellis, all those guys. But I think we're in for a good fucking NBA playoffs this year. I think we've got some good matchups. And I could see any of, like, especially if Houston and OKC 4-5, if that goes down, that's going to be a fucking good series.
Mm-hmm.
Jazz always play up for the playoffs. Them in Denver will be great. And I can see Dallas rising to the occasion and really putting it on the Clippers and giving them a tough time. Of course, who cares about the Eastern Conference? It's a pile of shit. But the Western Conference Finals or the playoffs will be good. All right, what do we got next? Football time. Did you watch? I don't know if you watched Last Chance U. Do you watch any of that?
I just started watching it because you talked about it so much.
Fucking love it.
Right now, where the season where like they're 1-7 and they're just constantly losing. They got their playbook to the limit and sold through their league.
Oh fuck! That was season 2, I believe, right?
I think so.
I think it's season. So season, like we talked about it last week. Season 1 is really good because it kind of set the bar. Season 2, the coach became like a Christian dude and was like, "I gotta stop cussing. I gotta blah 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 blah," and like it ruined it. It made it shitty, and the football team wasn't good. Season 3, Jason Brown came from Indy, and that's the best fucking season of season 3. Have you seen that one yet?
Yeah, that's what I'm watching.
Oh, that's the one you're on? Well, they're not
One
bad.
of the seasons, yeah.
Well, the second season, they're bad. You're probably on season 4 then. Because season 3, they did pretty good and they won the conference title and shit. And then season 4, they came around and they just fucking sucked. And the newest one was set in Laney College here in Oakland. And the coach is pretty cool, but it's not as good as the last ones. The biggest crazy thing about California community college football is they're not allowed to do scholarships. So these players aren't on scholarship. They're paying for their schooling. There's no housing available to them. They're completely self-sufficient, and they just are able to play football. That's it. So
there's no real benefit besides a chance to go to a big university.
That's the crazy thing is you see these kids that like half of them are kind of fuck ups. They've all got their quirks. There's a reason they're there. But they're obviously they obviously want to play because they keep showing up. One dude drives 2 hours to class every day from Stockton. None of that shit's paid for. One dude is homeless, living in his car. One dude brings his 2 young fucking children to practice. They're on the sidelines in the stroller, like he's watching them. Dude, so season 5's pretty crazy. It's not as good as season 3. Season 3 is still the fucking best. But it's still pretty good. But let's hop to XFL. You hear about Mr. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, partner in his company, buys the XFL for $15 million.
Yeah.
So it was Dwayne "Rock" Johnson. 2 of his partners bought the XFL for around $15 million. They announced Monday. Johnson teamed up with the private investment firm Redbird Capital and Danny Garcia to purchase the XFL, which declared bankruptcy in April after the COVID pandemic forced the league to shut down. The XFL was formerly owned by WWE chairman Vince McMahon. It appears Johnson will take an active role in bringing the XFL back. What do you think this means? Like, what's the next step, and what's the purpose of him buying it?
I don't know. Like, it's not like he's going to lose any money on it. So he's only one bad movie away again from getting that money back.
Rundown 3. Bring back Stifler.
Yeah. I don't really know. It's like an episode of Ballers come to life, I guess.
It doesn't make a lot of sense because the XFL, they had compared to the AAFL, they really had just a little bit of steam, and it really was snuffed out quick with the pandemic. Yeah. So I don't know if he's...
They were actually doing some things better, like with working with an NFL a little bit for like recruits and like picking people off their practice squad. They could do that, I think. That's one problem. The AFL, like they didn't have talent to replace the talent when they got hurt.
Yeah, they were very light as it was. So I mean, I don't know. Like a lot of people speculated when the AAFL and the XFL came about. They basically said if you don't have some kind of partnership with the NFL, there's no long-term, success because they've got to have some kind of system for these guys to be able to go up, come back down. I think if there was a partnership, and I think The Rock could be the guy to make that happen. I think when the NFL looked at the XFL, you see Vince McMahon, who is some pompous fucking CEO trying to outdo it, wants to take over. It doesn't really get the feeling that they want to work alongside. I think The Rock can kind of portray that and say, look, we want to be an alternate to the NFL. We don't want to become the NFL. We don't want to be, something like you are. We're going to play in a different season. We want to aid you guys in getting these players and then being able to take those lower level players and develop them. I think that if there's a partnership, which could very well happen under this new ownership, that's about the best possible way for them to keep their footing and frankly keep football year round. I think that's our best shot.
Yeah, it should be the alternative to arena football. I don't know if arena football is still a thing or not.
It is, and goddamn, it is so hard to watch, man. It's like fucking playing NFL Blitz, dude. You don't know what kind of shit. That game was awesome, but when you're playing football and you're like, "What the fuck? He just got smashed into the side. There's no sideline. What? There's no kickoff. There's no field goals. Whatever the fucking rules are." Saskatchewan Rough Riders. I don't get it. But I think the XFL has a shot. I don't. But the thing is like, when do you take it? Do you start next spring when COVID's still hanging around? Like, it's not going to be gone by then.
I'd say there's no rush for them to do it. I'd say another year at least.
They need
get
to
things set up, infrastructure going.
They say they definitely need to work on the infrastructure of the league and find out what kind of ties they can lay with the NFL. I think for the next year they can do that. Because if you can get the NFL support on it, man, that's going to be the key to their long-term success, I think. I don't think you're going to get, because NFL is all around the star players, man. If you take away the star players in the NFL, it's going to lose a lot. But no, it'd be exciting to see what he can do with it. At least I'd rather the Rock own it than the fucking McMahon, dude. I mean, he tried it once and couldn't do it. So what's different this time? My question
he lost a lot of money on that too.
He lost a shitload of money, man.
He sold a ton of his shares to the WWE to make that happen.
Yeah. What do you think about because I mean, like, obviously you're from Midwest, Oklahoma. I see a lot of my friends from Oklahoma. A lot of them are boycotting football. What's the vibe with that out there? Do you have a lot of your friends doing that, or do you hear about it very often?
I haven't even heard about that at all.
Really? One of our friends that we graduated with posted about it, talking about how I love the Chiefs, but I won't be able to watch them this year because they're going to kneel for the national anthem.
I can't stand people that think that way. It's so stupid.
It's so narrow-minded. I was listening to Bert's podcast. He had Ron Funches on yesterday, like his most recent one. And Ron actually put it in a very, very good way. It's like, because it's getting so blown out of proportion, all this other shit's just, it's meant to just confuse and throw off the main thing, which is, like, Bert asked him, hey, boil this whole shit down to one precipice. What are you trying to get across? He said, I want civil servants to be able to do their jobs and not kill us. And if they do, they get held accountable. That's it. That's the Black Lives Matter. That's the kneeling at the national anthem. And frankly, a lot of it gets blown out of proportion. And I think Bill Burr says it the best. He's in his stand-up Paper Tiger. He talks about how he's like, my brother's in Iraq. He's fighting the war. He's like, I didn't say your brother's not in Iraq. He's like, my brother's over there fighting the fucking war. And he's like, just calm down. He said, they're kneeling. They're just kneeling for it. They're using their medium. That's their medium to kind of get across to people, and that's what they're going to use. He said, they're not disrespecting your brother. We're not saying your brother didn't fight in Iraq.
Yeah.
But that seems to be what I see on social media the most. Is it's always about, like, and of course it's ricocheted by what the president tweets. About
like he just turned into a political point.
Yeah, it's like, well, I gotta shut off this now. Like, one guy, I won't even say his name, but I think he's friends with both of us, was like, well, gonna be watching a lot of hockey this year because they don't kneel. Of course, the next day they start kneeling. That was pretty funny. So I'm wondering what sport he's gonna pick up next. But
he's gonna be watching cornhole on ESPN.
The Ocho. I don't understand.
One of my friends.
What?
One of my friends out the other day, and he was watching golf. I was like, ugh, like, who can watch golf? Really?
I can't, man.
I was like, you might as well just watch cornhole. He's like, oh yeah, I love watching cornhole too. I was like, oh dude, come on, man.
Fucking watch spoons and shit on TV. What are you watching? What channels do you have, man? Oh fuck. Yeah, it's pretty funny to see, like, I don't know, it's just the narrow-mindedness. It's like some people actually believe that they want They think that the black community is wanting like reparations and they want them to, you know, just like be superior. Like Terry Crews came out and said that shit. He was like, what's this about black superiority? It's like, it's not about that. We've been the superior one up until this point. We just got checked on it for the first fucking time in 200 years. Like, we're not trying to make black people elite. We're trying to make them equal. Like, I love the video online. It was a gym teacher, had a bunch of people, his whole class line up on the touchdown line, the 0-yard line. And he said, if you had you're both your parents growing up, take 5-yard step, you know, go 5 yards. He said, if your mom and dad are not divorced, step 5 yards, you know, did all these things like that. If you guys never had to be on food stamps, take 5 steps. And he asked all these questions. And by the time everybody was at the 45, 50-yard line, he said, I want you guys on the 45, 50-yard line to turn around. And they turned around, and there was about 30 black kids on the 0 or 5-yard line. And he was like, this is racial inequality. He said, it's nothing you did. It's not your fault. He said, well, what I want you to understand is you've got a different starting point from people that you live with and you work alongside. And it's not your fault. There's nothing wrong about it. He said, but we have a chance to fix it. And we've got to give these other people a better opportunity of starting off because you have an elite starting off point compared to them. And I think that said it the best way. I tried to show that to my mom one time, and that didn't go well.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine being like the same saying from Dad.
Oh, man.
My dad would not understand it. Really.
It's just generational, man. Maybe we should fucking get our parents a Harley and talk them into going to Sturgis. Be like, South Dakota's beautiful this time of year.
The mountains are so beautiful.
Yeah. Heard they got a lot of Denny's. Bro, speaking of Denny's, I got a Denny's down the road from my house. No lie, friendly. We were driving the other day to get on the freeway, and at this Denny's, it's 106 degrees outside, and there is 30 people eating outside of Denny's. Outside. How fucking good are those Grand Slams that you have to be outside in the 106 degree heat? You were willing to go and set out and sweat your fucking dick off to eat a Grand Slam.
Yeah, you're definitely not drinking milk out there because that would be terrible. You'd be sick.
Dude, and they do it at Chili's, Applebee's, Denny's, all these IHOP, all these shitty restaurants. They have a tarp covering it like it's going to save you from the heat or something like that. And because you can't eat inside, you can eat outdoors out here. That's all you can do. And these people are braving the heat, sweating. God, I could only imagine how bad these people crotches smell. 106 degree heat, fucking chowing down on some bacon, sausage, hash browns. God, dude, I just don't understand it. All right, let's jump to the next piece. NFL's Darius Geis arrested for domestic violence, and he was cut by the Redskins. So Darius Geis was a high prospect. I think he was drafted in the 2nd round a couple years ago. Came in as a high prospect, got hurt his first season ACL. Second season, he got hurt for, I think, 4 to 6 weeks. But when he's been healthy, he's been really good. But he came out, and law enforcement tells the TMZ Sports they're investigating 3 different violent incidents involving Geis. They say the 3 assaults, which took place on February 14th, wow, Valentine's Day, March 13th, and April 17th, all went down at the NFL star's home in Ashburn, Virginia. Cops say incidents were first reported to the Montgomery County Police Department in Maryland, where the victim lives. The allegations were investigated by the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office Domestic Violence Unit in coordination with the Montgomery County Police Department. Geis turned himself over to the authorities today and was released on a $10,000 bond. Wow. So we don't really have a lot of details about what happened, but they immediately alerted the NFL. They met with Darius to inform him that he was excused from all team activity. This was super short after, too. Like, we saw the news alert, and within the hour, Ron Rivera came out and said he's cut. He's done. Which, we know what's going on in Washington right now. It's totally understandable. Like, what's your take on... Oh, they got a picture of him getting arrested, too. He got some nice shoes on. What do you think of... What the fuck, like, what we know Darius Geis is just a blip on the radar compared to this, but like what's going on in Washington? What do you think? What do you see happening?
I think Dan Snyder just needs to go. Like, he's the one that's held it back all this time. And what really made it happen was FedEx was the biggest one because they're the sponsor of the field.
Yeah. And
they're actually like a minority stake owner. And I think they actually did pull their rights to their name or whatever for the stadium and advertising. Yeah, it's been going on for 10 years, talking about changing the name, and now
way too long.
Everything that's happening is happening.
What do you see their name being? Like, there's been a lot of speculation about the ones they thought they were going to choose. Is there any favorites that you like?
Only one I can think of offhand is the Red Tails, which is like the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a bad name. I don't remember the other ones really.
A lot of them were like a lot of red names. Red Wolves. The Red Tails was my favorite.
Yeah.
But definitely
don't know the animal as a mascot.
Yeah, and the Washington football team, like, that was stupid. It sounds dumb.
Yeah.
I mean,
I did like the helmet.
I was going to say the same thing. Their helmets look fucking sick, just plain. It looks pretty cool. But they better figure that shit out quick, because now they have no insurance policy behind Adrian Peterson at the moment, because that was Darius Geis. And you're looking at a quarterback conundrum in the fact that Alex Smith is starting to become healthy again. Does he come back in and take over for Dwayne Haskins? Because he looked like garbage last year. But, I mean, you can't really blame the kid. He's on a shitty organization. Obviously, all this stuff was still going on last year with the fucking sexual abuse with women and shit. So, I mean, it's a dumpster fire, man. I had a lady at work that is a Redskins fan, and she's kind of, she'd be at Sturgis if she had a motorcycle. Let's just say that. She was pissed that they were going to change the name, and as soon as they announced it, she went on eBay and spent like $300 on a pair of fucking shoes that had the Redskins logo on it. And she told me about this, and she's like, I spent like $350 or $340, and I got one of them off eBay just to hold. And I was like, whoa, that's going to be worth some money one day. That is going to be worth some money. She wears them to work the next day. And I'm like, what are you doing? I said, you just fucking shit on all their value. She's like, I wanted them to wear. And I was like, you spent $300 on a fucking pair of shoes just to wear? Those are going to be worth thousands one day. So, it's like trying to explain a mask to my mother-in-law. But they're all doctors, apparently.
She could have got some of the Jimmy Choos instead.
Oh, fuck. Speaking of arrests in the NFL, Giants' DeAndre Baker charged with 4 counts of armed robbery with the firearm. And surprisingly, Quentin Dunbar was not charged. So this was the news story we broke. It's probably been a few months now, back when COVID really first hit. These guys went to Miami and got into a rough poker game where I guess they felt they got robbed. So DeAndre Baker came back with a gun, brought Dunbar with him. And then they went through all that mess. They got arrested. So he just got charged. So apparently they surrendered to the police in May. And Baker, who was once a highly touted cornerback recruit, pretty much just fucking ruined his career. 4 counts of armed robbery with the firearm. Dunbar, he's going to be able to play, but that's going to have a big, big fucking asterisk on his fucking future.
Yeah, he has no leverage in any contract negotiations.
Nope, none whatsoever. He's going to be a minimum guy for quite some time, which he's always been kind of that, nothing special. But the Giants, definitely a hit they did not need to take. Let's try before our last. I've got one more story about the WWE, which Zach actually put this into the podcast, so I know nothing about this. I was thinking, let's try to give Troy a call real quick. So our buddy Troy, we were trying to get on the podcast. And his little bitch ass was mowing the lawn. And he said he didn't want to get in trouble for not getting it done, which I don't understand because he is a grown man. So
Yeah.
we're going to try to add Troy to our video chat and see if he answers. Did you just hang up? Oh, it's ringing. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I actually read the article on this too.
Oh, did you? Good. So that way you know about it. I know nothing about this. Troy is not picking up like a bitch. I told him, I was like, I'm still going to call you. I don't care if you're mowing the lawn. I was shocked. Oh, it says he's connected.
What's up?
Oh, look who it is.
Yeah.
Did you get the lawn mowed?
Yeah.
Good.
Most of it.
I don't want you to get in trouble.
Yeah, man. I would have.
By who?
Tiffany.
You're a grown-ass man.
Yeah, man.
Are you guys living? You guys are living together now, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, getting pretty serious.
Yeah.
Okay, well you're live. You're live on the podcast right now, so welcome to Yelling from the Stands.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we just got done talking about the Washington Redskins, man. What do you think about the whole situation?
Well, I don't think that any of that should have been a fucking problem. That's, it's not like they're trying to say it's a negative thing. They want to, all sports names are meant to intimidate or show pride in.
True.
So, that's what I think about the Washington Redskins.
You don't think it should have been blown up the way it was?
No.
I mean, I get that, but if you started a football team in Chicago, Southside Chicago, and called them the Chicago Blackskins, you think that'd go over well?
The Chicago Blackskins?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably
All right.
wouldn't go over well. That's what I'm saying. It's the majority of people, that's how they're going to take it. And we know, because we're from Oklahoma, Indian country, we're very in tune with the Native American culture. People out here are not.
Right.
So.
No, I mean, not bad at all. I don't think.
What's on your hat?
So, huh?
What's on your hat?
Oh,
Oh, it's a big weed leaf.
yeah.
Are you still growing?
Yeah, man. Actually, like, we had some plants that wasn't doing very good, so we just put them outside. And the heat initially just, zapped them.
Yeah.
But the grass, there's like some Johnson grass that grew up around them. And it's kind of like protecting it now and keeping it cool. And they're growing real good and budding. Looking good.
When are they going to be ready?
Probably about a month.
That's awesome, dude. Send me some pictures.
Yeah.
That's sweet,
Yeah, I'll do
dude.
that. Yeah, man.
For everybody that's listening, in Troy's background, those are the fucking locusts and shit. In Oklahoma,
Yeah.
they have what's called bugs. Out here in California, there are no bugs.
Now, hey, whenever I went out to San Diego, a couple months ago, a few times, that's like a different world, man.
Totally.
Like, I had to touch everything going down the street, and I was like, this planet isn't real.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
the heat
it
is
is.
nice. It's dry. It's not humid.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking ruin your shirt and your hair.
Yeah.
It's a totally different world out here, man. I'm telling you, you guys need to come out here. I know Vegas is still closed down, but we're just a few hours from Vegas. Come out here, we'll fucking do a Vegas trip.
I mean, there's plenty to do in California. We just walked around whenever we were in there, but we were in like La Mesa, right in the middle. So there was plenty of stuff to do around. I was kind of worried about getting jacked the whole time, but
dude, it's not that bad. I've not been robbed out here in 5 years, so
no. But
I was talking to Friendly earlier about how what's the overall feeling for like masks and the COVID in Oklahoma compared to California, and he said for the most part it's not too bad. It's kind of 50-50 with how people believe it or they don't believe it. What do you feel?
Well, I have a good educated guess because I've been in both places since this started.
Yeah.
Right. So, just in a nutshell, nobody fucking here wears masks compared to there. Like, I don't know. I've been talking shit on some Facebook, posts. I was like, oh, we don't get COVID and die. Like, or you could just wear your mask for 15 seconds. Doesn't fucking matter. Not hard.
Do you think people underestimate like what it really is out there, or they just like what's the reason for that?
Because like honestly, everybody that I see is there's like slippery slope, taking away our freedom, making us have to wear a mask. I think it's total fucking bullshit.
And even though a country like New Zealand, who just has 0 confirmed cases in the last 10 weeks, who's been following all the steps and shit like that, even though we have that kind of data, people in the Midwest still don't believe it, and they don't want their freedoms taken away.
This could all end if everybody would stay their ass home for 2 weeks, and it would be done.
Yeah.
It's real fucking simple. Like, I don't...
Have you gotten into
you don't
arguments?
Have to go to fucking Walmart, huh?
Have you gotten into like heated arguments in public with anybody over that shit?
No, but I loudly say, wonder where his mask is, or wonder where their mask at. No, I thought to myself, like, because I know at some point whenever I'm at Walmart or Dollar General or something, that I'm going to overhear somebody like snicker at me wearing my mask, because I wear my mask.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to hear someone snicker about it, and what I'm going to say is I'm just going to walk up to them and take my mask off and be like, I've been sick as shit for the last week. Sorry. Sorry for wearing my mask. Then they're going to be like, holy shit, what the fuck? I'm going to be like, oh, that's what the fucking mask is for, dumbass.
So, Troy, come November, I'm pretty sure I know where you stand. But what's your thoughts politically? We don't do a lot of politics, but what's your thoughts politically on where we stand as a country, and who you voting for?
I'm not voting for fucking Donald Trump. That's insane. This is what I texted you about. Maybe we shouldn't bring this up.
No, go for it, bro.
Put on a list.
Do whatever we want.
No. I mean, look at, they wanted to vote in somebody that was not a politician, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Like, I do understand the appeal to that, but look at the state we're in right now. Look at the state. This motherfucker has been sharing videos on Twitter of 2 weeks ago in Chicago. No, like 2 weeks ago in Chicago, people like broke, doing riots and shit, and they're like, this is what Biden's America is going to look like. Like, no, motherfucker, this is what Trump's America currently looks like. What are you talking about? Like, I'll tell you what, though.
What?
The Sturgis thing, the Sturgis motorcycle rally is happening. Bro, like, I can't wait to see the results of this shit.
We just got done talking about it, man. It's going to fucking blow up. And what I was telling Friendly, I was like, every one of these motherfuckers is over 50. They smoke. They're fat. They're overweight. Dude, we're going to wipe out 10% of the Republican Party this next 2 weeks.
It's happening. Because they're going to, first of all, they come from all over the United States. They're going to take it back and follow along with them at every Quick Trip that they stop at, every Come and Go or 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
And those people are going to have it and then take it home. That's how it spreads.
Yeah.
Do people not understand that? I mean, it's pretty just simply obvious.
I'm with you, man. I think it's pretty cut and dry. But I guess people just don't get the hint. They don't like their little freedoms taken away for the greater good. I would implore, like most people take ethic classes in high school, because we wouldn't be in this issue if we had that taught in high school.
Right. Just that, like a general, like they should just call it like life class. Like how to pay your taxes. How to figure, like if you put money in a savings, like they briefly go over that in math, but what, like what it does, what's a CD?
My math teacher was also my basketball coach, who set me in favor of his son. So fuck the math.
Right.
So.
I'll remember one game. He told you to go in because you could shoot threes. 7 seconds left. Like, he took your shoes off.
I did. I was like, it's not worth it, bro. He's like, what? He's like, get in there, shoot a three. I was like, nah. My family had driven out of town to come watch me play. I didn't fucking play at all.
For J-Dub.
Oh, remember bro. That. Hey, I'll never forget. People don't forget. All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us, Troy. Anything else you want to talk about before we hang up on you?
No. I mean, Matt, while I got Matt here, we're never going back to American Bartlesville ever.
Yeah, really?
Why is that?
I don't know. I feel like they're worried about the COVID stuff, because of people who have like lower immune systems that don't maybe go out of their house, get dirt and stuff on them. Like 99% of the people that we work with, right? Like there's a bunch of asthma having nerds. It's great.
One of those beats people.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we're going back till January at least.
Yeah, man. Like it's not happening until people like the only way that we would get rid of this is if they put us all on a $1,000 unemployment for 1 month, right? $1,000 a week for a month, and tell you not to leave your house, like at all. Period. If you do, you're going to pay us that money back, and you don't get it anymore. That's the only way it's ever going to go away, ever.
And that ain't going to happen.
Because there's going to be people that's, even if they have a vaccine, people, there's, for some fucking reason, 99% of the people, you're going to be like, ooh, no vaccines, especially ones that we just invented. Like, that's crazy, too. Like, me and Tiff had a conversation about vaccinating if we was to ever have kids.
Yeah. Oh shit! Is she an anti-vaxxer?
She's a star child, kinda. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Is she anti-vax?
Yeah, man. Like she is not about that.
Okay. Oh my.
Yeah.
What's the reasoning? What's the scientific research that she hangs that on?
Yeah, I don't. She doesn't want to have
autistic kids.
Chemicals. No, just chemicals in your body. Blah blah blah.
What did she eat for breakfast? I can tell her how many chemicals she had for breakfast.
Bro, I don't.
You've probably been there. We've probably.
Usually, whenever I have an argument or something, I come up with some facts. Like I bring forth the story.
Yeah.
With some sort of evidence. So, like Donald Trump is a douche. Lots of evidence.
Is she a Trump fan?
Did you see that Axios interview?
No, I didn't. What is it?
Watch that. I don't know. Like it was Axios something. I don't know. It was a one-on-one interview with Donald Trump.
That's the guy he was sitting there interviewing him one-on-one just here recently, right?
Yes, right.
I saw the preview for it. I didn't get to watch it though, but I heard he did a great job because journalistically he just sat down and did what he would do to anybody.
Right. Yes, it was a good interview. Like he just dumped him, and Trump just looked like a fool having like 5 pieces of paper with some charts and graphs on them, and like, no, look.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. Well, shit, man.
Just need a normal politician back in there.
You guys need to fucking hook it up and come out here sometime. We'll go spend the week in Vegas and hit San Diego and do all that shit. There's so much shit to do out here, man.
Allegiant's flying to LA, so
nice. Well, we'll set it up soon, man. Once we get this, it'll be a while before COVID goes away, but hopefully we can.
And there's not shit to do out there.
Hopefully in November they can make some switches or something and get some smart people in there and make some better decisions.
Yeah, put the best people around somebody because I don't know.
I mean, are you actually for Joe Biden? Like,
yeah, I mean, no, I was I felt the burn the whole time, man.
Okay,
I voted for Bernie in the primary last time, but I just think that he would have been the best choice to do, something that's best for the people.
Yeah,
I do like Jo Jorgensen. She's a normal fucking person, but that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I am a believer in the whole you are wasting your vote if you're not gonna vote for one of the top 2 parties unless they implement a legitimate 3-party system.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with the Kanye, he's basically just a fucking deterrent. He's taking away votes from Biden. We know that now.
Just like Jill Stein was last time. No different.
Well, all right. We'll see how it plays out, guys. We're going to wrap this call up. Troy, go back to... Are you done mowing?
No, I got a little bit left.
Well, you better get back to work before you get in trouble, man.
Yeah, man. I will.
All right, dude. Well, I'm going to kick you off the call. Thanks for joining us. Man. Good talking to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to you later, bud.
All right, see you, man.
All right, bye. All right, friendly. The last story we got, man. Former WWE star Marty Jannetty seemingly admits to killing a man who tried to molest him at 13. So, Jannetty appeared on the Boston Wrestling Show and addressed his bizarre Facebook post. I said he disappeared. I didn't say I killed him. I said he disappeared, he said. Jannetty added that he only beat the man with a brick. I can't say he deserved to die, but he was deserved to get his ass beat, he said. And when I was beating him in the head with the brick, I was only trying to beat his ass. I wasn't trying to kill him. Whoa, okay. You said you know this story. Can you break some of this shit down for me?
Yeah, I was reading it, and I think he said him and his brother worked at a bowling alley, maybe, or they went to a bowling alley, and they knew this gay guy that sold weed, so that's why he went there to buy some weed from him. And, like, he tried to get him to... He took him out back and, like, tried to get in his pants or something.
Whoa.
And supposedly just beat the shit out of him. And when I read it, it sounded like he was boasting. It sounded like a fake story, really.
Yeah.
Because he even deleted it, like, shortly afterwards, like the next day or something. And, like, the guy that wrote the article that I read, he even thought it sounded fake. So I don't know why, like, 30 years later, like, it's not even a wrestler that it's even known. Why would you bring that story up at all?
Yeah. It's kind of weird, man. Like, so he put all this on Facebook first, right?
Yeah, it's a Facebook post.
He said, I'm trying to say, I think the post is right here. Woke up today and decided to casually confess to a murder. What the fuck? In the post, Jannetty claims that he's never told no one this, but when he was working at a bowling alley as a teenager, he encountered a man who was selling weed. While trying to buy some, the man put his hands on Jannetty and attempted to drag him to the back of the building. I already know what he was trying to do, Jannetty said. The wrestler went on to say that this was the first time I made a man disappear, insinuating that he's committed potentially violent and illegal acts more than once. Jannetty claims that the police never found the unnamed man, but if they were still looking for him, they should search the Chattahoochee River in Alabama. Whoa. So this dude, how would you tell him where the fucking remains are, man?
Yeah.
He said the public confession appears to have been sparked by a spat he had with his girlfriend, Winnie. He told a friend in the comment section that this other thing happened 1 billion years ago. Now, that sounds like somebody who's trying to backtrack after saying too much. Oh, it was 1 billion years ago, man. I fucking killed this guy. You can find his remains in the Chattahoochee River. Oh, my God. Do you know who this guy is? Is he, like, famous wrestler? I've never heard of him.
I've never heard of him before. Like, I know, like, old, like, 70s and 80s wrestlers still.
I know he's in the picture. He's with Shawn Michaels. They're apparently some kind of duo.
Oh, I watched I did watch, what's that show I told you about?
Which one? I don't know.
On Vice?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a wrestling documentary. They do different wrestlers.
Oh,
like
is it the Dark Side of the Ring?
Yeah. That's it. They did an episode on Shawn Michaels and him as a tag team partner.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, apparently he's had some addictions. Talking about withholding sex from his girlfriend, drink, smoke a little plant, possibly throw a little powder up, then have sex with all the neighbor girls. But it's got to stop. I'm not working out right, not tanning right, not studying film. Hell, I ain't doing nothing but drinking, fucking, and waiting for the weekends. He continued, I'm embarrassed at my own damn self in front of my people, looking like a pale, white, fat pig. This guy's got some shit he's got to work out. So
yeah, it sounds like he's on attention like he used to get.
All right, Marty Jannetty. I'm gonna have to look it up so we can find some more shit on that. Well, all right, friendly. I appreciate you joining me today, giving me some company, man. Last minute.
Yep. Zach's a bitch. I don't know what his problem is. He's pulling bullshit like this.
He almost blew up his house, man. They're out working on electrical shit right now. He's like, I could tell because Zach is usually very just real low key, real fucking calm. But I could tell the way he was texting, like maybe he's like, this is serious. He's like, there's an emergency with our electrical at our house. I might have screwed something up. That was the kind of vibe I got. So I was like, his dad's over there probably pissed.
He's a regular attendant. He's a regular Tim Pullman Taylor.
All right, guys, that wraps it up for this episode of Yelling from the Stands. No yelling from the kitchen this week. We're going to try to get that together probably in the next few weeks. So the way we're looking at Yelling from the Kitchen is kind of like season 2's coming. We're working on setting up a few more, shows with that and doing the more YouTube, keep going live. The YouTube's actually been really, really good for us. So we're going to continue that here in the next coming weeks. We might take a couple more weeks off. Get some more shit together, get those episodes rolling out. And, make sure you follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Check us out on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe and, keep telling your friends. Keep listening in. We'll have this shit every week. Anything you want to add, friend? Anything else going on?
Nope. Not really.
Well, all right, buddy. Keep wearing your mask. You guys stay safe out there and, keep your freedoms. Don't let them take your freedoms. And you need to watch Jim Gaffigan. You need to watch Gaffigan's new stand-up. He has 2. He did one where he went to Canada and did a Canada set all about Canada, and then he went to Spain and did one all about Spain. The one in Canada is really fucking funny. The one in Spain wasn't so much. He seemed like he was sick, but they're both on Amazon Prime. Pretty fucking good.
Check them out.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sean. This is Friendly via Oklahoma via Facebook. All right, guys. Take it easy. Peace out, friend.